our show is all about spreading our passion for fitness with the world. We want you guys to prioritize your health. We want you guys to care about living a healthy lifestyle. And so we're going to be here week after week sharing different topics from, talking about different workouts, talking about different diets, fad diets, how to just clean up your diet in general. We'll be talking about things like how your lifestyle choices affect your hair, your skin, your nails, things like that. Dava and I are both health and fitness coaches. We are not certified personal trainers or nutritionists. Our advice, our experiences that we're going to share with you come from our personal health and fitness journeys, as well as the work that we do with our clients every day. Okay, so just a little bit more about me. I'm KP, and I've been on my fitness journey off and on for a little over 10 years. But about 2.5 years ago, I decided to really get serious about living a healthy lifestyle and make my life, my health, my fitness a priority. And so then, I got so passionate about what I was doing for me and how I was feeling, I decided to start coaching. And so here I am today. David, you want to tell everybody a little bit more about you?
Sure. I am David McKenzie. As Klaenyza said, I'm also a health and fitness coach. I am actually one of those coaches who is still on their journey. So anybody out there who thinks you need to be perfect to be a coach, that is certainly not the case. For me, I started to take my health a little bit more seriously about 2 years ago. I had a lot of changes, and a close friend of mine who had passed away, and it really just inspired me to really want to get a hold on my health, because I knew that it was the one thing that would stand in my way from achieving my destiny and any plans that God had for my life. So I wanted to make sure that my health was not a factor whatsoever. In my process, I've lost about 50 pounds on my journey. I'm still trying to keep going. And in that, I decided to start inviting other people to join me and to get on this journey with me. And through that, I have found that I have become a Size Live instructor. I've gotten different nutrition certifications, and it just really has made a very big impact on my life and given me so much fulfillment. And it's really one of the big reasons of why we wanted to start this lab for you guys, to try and inspire more people to, cast a wider net with our outreach and to just get you guys on the path to living healthy and fulfilling lives. So with that, our topic tonight is going to be about why you are not reaching your New Year resolution goals. It's March 1st. Who has still been on the path towards achieving their goals, and who has fallen off? You guys can feel free to, in the live chat, Klaenyza and I can both see it. But normally around this time, it's really funny because March is like that start of spring season where the New Year's buzz has kind of died down, and summer is like a little bit too far away. So a lot of people will fall off that boat and like kind of just ignore their resolutions and think, I have the whole rest of the year to get there. And, it kind of just becomes absent-minded, and you forget all about those things that you promised yourself on January 1st. But really, and Klaenyza and I have been talking about this, there are 4 main reasons why people don't reach their goals. And they all kind of flow into each other. So we're going to be giving you the reasons why you're not hitting those New Year's resolutions, and then we'll try and help you guys get on the path towards achieving them. So one of the first reasons that I hear from people all the time is that they are making these huge New Year's resolutions that are not achievable. I'm talking about the I want to lose 100 pounds in 2 months, or the I want a 6-pack by February 1st, or I want to be able to bench press 160 pounds by summer, and you've never lifted a weight in your life. These are things that if you're not putting a plan in place and being really honest with yourself about what you want to achieve and a realistic time frame that you're not going to be hitting those goals. I mean, Klaenyza, have you seen similar things?
Absolutely. And it's not even just the goal being so big, but it's like once you have that goal, what's the plan that you're putting in place to achieve that goal? You know what I'm saying? So even if we say, okay, fine, your goal is to lose 50 pounds over the next month. Okay, big goal. But then you don't even have a plan in place. Oh, I'm just going to go to the gym. That's it. You know, it's not specific. You know, you have no idea how many times a week you're going to work out. What diet are you going to follow to match it? You know, there's no real plan around it. So I feel like that's another way that people kind of set themselves up to fail from the beginning.
Absolutely. It's like if you are going to go on a trip to Ohio, do you just get in the car and start driving? Or do you, put gas in the car? Do you pack your snacks? Do you, turn on your navigation and have a roadmap as to how you're going to hit that goal? You really need to have a plan in place. And again, you have to be realistic. You have to look at, I have to burn X amount of calories in order to lose X amount of pounds. And is that really doable while maintaining, sustaining life in that time frame? Another thing that kind of falls into the whole goal setting thing is that people aren't specific with their goals. They don't think about, they say like, I just want to lose weight or I want to gain muscle. Well, how much weight? How much muscle? What does success look like? That's the question you really need to answer for yourself is, what am I working towards and what is my goal deadline? I'm pretty sure everybody has heard of SMART goals. They need to be specific. So like we talked about, you have to put a number behind it. It needs to be measurable in that same way. It needs to be, what's A, Klaenyza?
Achievable.
Achievable. It has to be realistic. That's what I'm thinking of. It has to be achievable. It has to be realistic and it has to be time oriented. So you have to put a date behind it, right? You can't just say, I want to lose weight. Give yourself a deadline. I want to lose 50 pounds by the end of the year. That is a specific, measurable, realistic goal that we can measure, that we can track, that we can put a plan behind, that you can put some chutzpah with and get on your way towards that goal.
Exactly. I love SMART goals. That's a concept that I talk about a lot with my clients and my different accountability groups that I run. And I know, Dava, you do as well, because it's something that's just so important. And even just knowing that one thing can really set you up for success when you are coming up with your goals, when you're deciding what it is you're going to do, when you're setting that resolution. So I think that's super, super important. And I'm glad you brought it up.
Absolutely.
So one of the other things that I notice kind of keeps people from achieving their resolutions is a lack of support and accountability. Now, I think this is something that not a lot of people think about. People are thinking about nutrition and fitness, right? Okay, I'm going to go to the gym 5 days a week. I'm going to work out for 30 minutes to an hour. I'm going to make sure my diet is clean. I'm going to not eat processed food. I'm on track. But then I don't know how many people out there, and please, like Dava said, join in on the chat and let us know how many of you guys have done all the right things. You had your plan in place, but still at some point you fell off the wagon. And a lot of times it's that one crucial piece, the support and accountability, that's holding you to achieving your goals. What's making you go to the gym every day? What's making you choose carrot sticks and hummus for snack over the cupcakes that they have at the work birthday party? You know what I'm saying? So, Dava, you're laughing, but you agree?
Yes.
Yeah, that's something that we definitely see a lot. And like I said, we both run accountability groups every month, or we have small groups of people working together to kind of keep each other on track. But part of it too, it's not just that support system. It's also people being required to come and log in and say, today I did this workout. This is what I ate today. The good, the bad, and the ugly. We want to know. You can say, you can come into our group and you can say, hey, the weekend was pretty tough. My friend came into town and we hadn't seen each other in a year and we partied like rock stars. Okay, cool. But the importance of that support group, having some sort of support group, is to make sure that that bad weekend you had or the stressful day at work you had doesn't kick you off the wagon and keep you from jumping back on. So that's a lot of times, that one crucial part that is missing from so many people's health and fitness journey. Anything to add on that?
It's a really big one because you really got to get rid of that all or nothing attitude where, I am either going to go really big for the day or not at all. And sometimes that not at all looks really bad, but something is really better than nothing. And if you have that support and that cheerleader or that coach behind you, that's going to keep pushing you so that when you do have a slip up, it doesn't turn into a give up. It's really important. And that's what can really keep you going and motivated along the way.
Yes. And you just sparked a thought. I'm going to go a little bit off tangent, but it's related.
Go for it.
But just in talking about letting one thing that happens make you give up, I've worked with people before who put so much emphasis on, let's say, like the scale, They go and they weigh themselves every single day. And, a couple days in a row, they weigh themselves and they don't see the scale move, And so their attitude is, I haven't lost a pound. This isn't working. I'm going to go get Chinese food for dinner and sit and watch TV for the night. And they start to fall off the wagon. That's the one decision that kind of turns everything around and they start to go back downhill. And so that's one of the other things I try to talk to my clients about too, is don't get so caught up on one measurement tool. The scale is just one tool. And I know it's hard, especially when your goal or your resolution might be related to weight, right? So if, like you said, your goal is to lose 10 pounds, 30 pounds, 50 pounds, when you don't see that scale moving day after day, it can be discouraging. So that's one of the things too, is we try to introduce all these other different ways to measure your progress and allow everybody to realize that progress is progress no matter how slow. So maybe you haven't lost a pound in 4 days, but you have more energy. You're sleeping better. Your clothes is fitting a little better. There are all these different ways to keep yourself encouraged and motivated so that you don't quit. So I know that was a little bit off tangent, but it kind of segues into the fourth piece that we find keeps people from achieving their New Year's resolutions. And that's a lack of motivation altogether. So I know this has happened to me personally, and I'll gladly share this story. So right now I work out from home. I actually am a lot better working out at home because when I go to the gym, I can create 50 million excuses why I don't need to go, right? Anybody with me? Like, it doesn't matter how in shape or whatever you are. Sometimes it's hard to stay motivated. So last year I was going to the gym a lot. I was doing a lot of weightlifting. And I remember one day I went into the locker room and I was about to change from my work clothes and, go do my normal routine. And I sat in that locker room for 20, almost 25 minutes trying to talk myself into working out. I couldn't find the motivation. And it's crazy because I knew what to do. I knew what I needed to do. I had my goals in mind, but I just could not push myself to get out there and do the work. So I went home that day. Now, please, does anybody ever feel that way? David, have you felt that before?
I'm like literally picturing you in the gym, like just sitting there, not doing anything.
I was like, get up, change. But I mean, it's so common, and it's another one of those things that people don't pay attention to how important it is to your fitness goals. You know what I'm saying? To achieving them. And so part of it is being a little bit creative, you know? It's finding workouts that make you want to go to the gym or make you want to press play. However it is you work out, you have to find something that you like. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I think I had just been doing the same or a similar routine for so long, and I was bored. I was so bored. It didn't matter what I played on my iPod. I just didn't want to be out there. I didn't want to do it. And so I think for me especially, and there might be other people who are the same, you need to kind of change it up. Or maybe there are some people, if you know that you really love running, then running is your thing. Go do it. Don't try to go lift weights or do something else if you know running is your thing. If swimming makes you so motivated, do it. Whatever gets you motivated to feel like you can go work out, that you can go get active, go and do it. Find that thing. And so that's something that I know I talk about with my clients all the time. And part of it too is finding different ways to motivate each other, like in our groups, right? So sometimes, I know, David, you do stuff like this too, it's contests and different competitions to kind of get those people who are driven by that to kind of push themselves a little further. Can you talk about some of the things that you do in your groups?
Yeah, I mean, those mini challenges are really fun because I am challenge driven. Like, I like to win stuff. And I also, being a coach now, I like to give stuff away. So if I have a freebie that I can offer my challengers, that's going to get them a little bit more plugged in. Or if I see people aren't, checking in with their meals, we can have, a recipe sharing contest or award points for whoever does certain activities, like different, like making it a game or making it fun and more engaging and things like that. Really keep people motivated. If you follow my fitness page on Facebook, you know that I do Tip Tuesdays every week. And it's so funny because I'm like, I love Tip Tuesdays. And I wrote the tips, so I don't know why I get so excited, but I do, so don't judge me. But the other week, one of my tips was to make a list of every reason you have to go work out or go to the gym. Everything. Just make a long list. Because I want to get healthy for my family, because I want to, lower my cholesterol, because I want to get off medication, because I want to lose weight, because I have a wedding coming up, because I have vacation, because I just want to feel good naked. Whatever it is, write them all down on the list. And then when you need that motivation or that push to go, pick whichever one looks good to you that day. And every day it might be a different reason, because I will tell you, I am one of those people. Every day something will happen or, something else will come up. And you just you need something else to do. You need a better reason. You need a bigger why to keep you going.
Yes.
And it's funny because you brought up the gym. I'm one of those people where I love the gym. I love being there. Everything's great. I plug in, but the struggle is getting me there. Get me out the house to get to the gym. Once I'm there, I'm golden. It's just getting me out the door. But at the same time, now that I am a single parent and my daughter is 6 years old, I can't afford gym membership fees. Because then on top of that, then you have to pay for the daycare fee or pay for a sitter while you're there. I'd much rather work out at home, and I always laugh because if you know me personally, you know I love to laugh, and if you couldn't tell tonight, I love to laugh. But I have this funny thing with my trainer that I follow on my DVD or on our stream online, and I have a love-hate relationship with her. I curse her out every workout. And I probably would tell this to her if I ever met her in person. But I'm like, yeah, I yell at you every day. But it's funny for me, that makes it fun. I know I'm going to have a great workout. I know I'm going to push myself really hard. I know I'm going to feel sore, and in the moment I'm going to hate it. But afterwards, I'm going to love it. And she always says, hate me now, love me later. Because you're going to love the results. You just got to push yourself to do it.
Exactly. And one other thing too is, even if you have these big goals set for yourself, set mini goals that you can celebrate more often. And, you know, that's something that we talk about a lot. So maybe your goal might be to lose a certain amount of weight or get a certain amount of muscle definition in 5 months or 6 months or a year. That's a long time to wait to celebrate, you know? So make smaller goals. It could be, you know, 30-day goals. It could be 2-week goals. It could be daily goals if you want. It doesn't matter. Whatever works for you to keep you motivated, do it. And have those small celebrations, because that's something that can keep you pushing too. So I know for me, one of the things that I like to do is I take a lot of measurements and I take a lot of photos. Because a lot of times, even if I'm doing a program and I'm feeling sore, I'm feeling like it's making a difference, I look in the mirror every day and I don't see any change. But then, you know, if it's every 2 weeks or once a month, I take a look at 2 pictures side by side and I'm like, oh my gosh, I really have made some progress. And right there, I'm like, well, you know, I got to keep going. You know, that's motivation enough for me. So it's like, you have to find those little things, those little moments that you can celebrate so that you're not waiting. So you don't have to wait a year to be like, oh, everyone, I lost 50 pounds. Because probably you will have quit by then anyway, so you won't be saying that. But find those little things that you can celebrate in between. And then once you get to that end mark, it's going to be so much better. You're still going to be celebrating. It's going to be fun, but at least you're going to get there because you've stayed motivated to keep going.
Yeah, I call those checkpoint goals.
Yeah.
Like, you have to have little benchmarks along the way. You know, you don't climb a mountain and you just hit the peak. No, there's little benchmarks that let you know what elevation you're at as you go up the mountain. You know, you have to have the, you know, this dress is a little loose dance, and, you know, I got to go down a size dance, and the, you know, I buy yourself a new outfit, you know, every time you go down a dress size. Hell, you're going to need to have things to wear anyway. So you might as well, you know, go get something cute.
Exactly. Exactly. I am all for buying new workout clothes. I just did that the other day. That's actually a good
motivator too.
It is. It's such a good motivator, having something cute to put on. And like I said, I work out at home. I don't know if you can see behind me, there's a full length mirror. I look at myself in that during my workout because it's motivating to me. I love to be able to kind of see myself working. And I think it's the same at the gym. You know, you've got these giant mirrors. They know what they're doing in there. You're going to stand in front of those mirrors and you're going to flex and you're going to be like, look at me, take a little selfie. Like, you like to see that stuff. So it's, you know, getting a couple of new things to make yourself look pretty. Whatever you need to do to motivate yourself, do it.
I'm a bright sneakers kind of girl. If I have like neon colored sneakers, I feel motivated to put them on and go.
Yeah. Dave and I were actually at the Nike store together the other day, and we were talking about, you know, buying a whole outfit that matches down to the shoes. I mean, for some people, they don't care, but for me, oh my gosh, if I had an outfit like that, I'd be like, yes, I'm so cute, need to go run.
And it's really funny because when we talk about these New Year's resolutions and people not sticking with them, only about 40% of Americans make resolutions to begin with.
Yeah.
Then you start seeing a problem when there's only 40 to 60% of those people actually keep them. So now we're down to 20% of the population made a resolution and stuck with it. What are the 80% of us doing? Just not hitting goals or not setting them?
Sitting for Super Bowl Sunday and some morning.
Anywhere in between. You pick what's not happening. But our mission is to make sure that you guys are hitting those goals, that you're crushing those goals. Because nothing makes me happier than when I get a text from a client that says, hey, you know, thank you so much. I did X, Y, and Z. And it doesn't have to be related. I have so many people that tell me they have more endurance, or they sleep better, or they don't have insomnia anymore, or they just feel better. Because granted, we all just want to feel good.
I love talking to parents too, who are like, I just want to be able to chase after my kids and not feel tired. Like those types of stories where it's not tied to how much weight you want to lose. Like it's not tied to like, let me look hot for my birthday. It's something that's so endearing that like I want to help those people even more. So because it's just like, not only do you want to be healthy for your kids, but your kids are watching everything you do. And so I know David has a beautiful little daughter, and I'm always around my niece, and we're always talking about how to set a great example for kids. You know, I think it's important for our kids, the generation under us, to see us being able to set healthy goals and achieve those goals. Because what does it teach them when we start something and quit year after year? What do they learn from that? So like, that's another thing that's super important. And it makes me want to do what we do even more.
Absolutely. And it's so funny. I think Zuri, my daughter, actually has turned into like the clean eating cop in her class. Because she calls out all the little kids when they don't have a healthy snack for class. She's like, that's not healthy. But and it's just so funny seeing how many things she picks up on and what she's aware of. And, you know, she has a concept of what cleaning is, especially coming from, you know, Klaenyza and I are pretty young. We come from a generation of being raised on like Little Debbie's and chicken nuggets, like packaged food was our thing. And if it's like 100-calorie snack, even better. Like, it didn't matter to us. It was in, you know, it was in a package and it was convenient. We grew up in a generation of convenience, and we thought that meant it was good. And now that we're becoming adults ourselves and parents, and you know, just coming really into our womanhood and, you know, our adulthood, and feeling our way through the world, and realizing that, you know, we need to do better for ourselves. We need to do better for our bodies. We're able to then not only pass that to our clients and other people, but we can give that to our families as well. And how awesome is that? And yeah, when you have a really deep why and you share that why and you get that support, people are going to be invested with you. Just like we get, like Klaenyza said, she was feeling, you know, tied and wanted to help people more when they see that it's deeper. Hell yeah, like, you have a lot of things riding on this. We got to get these results. We got to get this done.
Yeah, exactly. So what I'd love to do, I see so much going on in the chat that, David, what do you think? Do you want to allow someone or a couple people to jump in and give their thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely.
So let us know, you know, we're going to keep chatting, but if you want to jump in and talk a little bit about your experience with your New Year's resolutions, what's kept you from achieving them, we want to hear about it. We want you to share your experience as well. So whenever you're ready, if you want to talk, we'll add you in. But I crack up sometimes, Deva, when I think about how, and it's like, we're super passionate about health and fitness. But I think both of us, like, we still have our days where we're chatting with each other and we're like, oh my gosh, I can't get up today. I got to do my workout. I got to push play. And I just cannot get up the motivation. That happened to me today. Because,
I'm actually laughing because I had an experience today.
See, you too today.
With a bag of sweet potato chips. I don't know why they're so good, but I tell myself they're healthy because they're sweet potato chips, but then like I eat the whole bag and I realize that that's counterintuitive. Like, it doesn't work that way. I know this as a coach, but they're just so good. And I'm like, probably not the best decision, but we'll work on it.
Yeah. That happened to me with my workout today. It was a short workout too, maybe max 25 minutes long. I've done it before, but I think that was the problem, that I know it's hard. And I was like, come on, trying to tell myself, you got to get up, you got to just do it. I was dragging my feet for a good hour and a half. And finally I did it, and it was hard. Couldn't feel my legs in the end, exactly what I thought was going to happen. But I did it, you know? But even yet to this day, there are times where I can't get that motivation up. But it's really just kind of keeping your bigger goal in mind. You know, always, what do you have to do? Visualize it in your head. Make a physical vision board where you can see where you want to be. Look at pictures of yourself from a time when you were the size that you want to be now. Visualize it. Keep that picture in your head so that you know what you're working towards all the time. And so that's something that I had to do today, because one of my goals for the summer is I want to do a fitness photo shoot and I need to stay on track. My diet has to be good. I've got to get through these workouts. And so that's what I had to tell myself today. You have a goal you want to hit. So get up and push play. Knock these 20 minutes out and then go sit down and rest, you know? But it took a lot. But as long as you get up and do it, it doesn't matter what it takes to get you there.
And that's
what I tell my clients anyway.
I have to tell myself that a lot, because I'm like, these workouts that, you know, the recommendation is a 30-minute moderate to intense workout a day. 30 minutes. You can't tell me that you can't find 30 minutes in your schedule. If you think that's the truth, I will find it for you. Like, show me the schedule and I'll find the 30 minutes. But sometimes I'm just like, oh, in the time I spend like debating with myself whether I'm going to do it or not, I could have done the workout, long story short. And I'm like, really? Because you could be done by now. Cut it out.
Exactly. That's so true. And even, so like I said, my workout was hard today. And I was pushing myself too. And so in the middle, you know, I get like a 1-minute break. Best believe I stretched that mess a couple more minutes. But then I was telling myself, now you're making it longer. It's not just 20 minutes anymore. So it's like those types of things. Like, you just have to knock it out, get it done, get on with your day.
So I'm seeing some more people joined. We just finished talking about what's keeping you from hitting your New Year's resolutions. And we talked about 4 different ways that are kind of blocking you. And in that, we talked about how you need to not set a goal that's too big. And at the same time, you need to be specific and realistic enough with your goal. You know, set SMART goals. We also talked about having support and accountability and making sure that you have motivation behind your goal, and, you know, setting a really deep why. And that we talked about having a plan and not relying on one form of measurement. But we are opening up the floor for anybody who wants to join in, to share, ask questions, share your experience with.
Looks like we have someone who wants to join.
Okay. Can't see who this is.
Oh, Tyshawn wants to join. Okay. Jump on in. Hi, Tyshawn.
Hey, guys.
How you doing?
Hey.
I'm good.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
So you want to share a little bit about your experience with New Year's resolutions?
Yeah. Really, for mine, it's literally been like, I know that I've been off and on a lot of stuff with me working out, but I think it's not really now me getting out and pressing play. Right now, I've had a lot of, with me in my life, I still deal with, there's certain issues that I still deal with. So sometimes I have this going on and I have that going on, and sometimes I don't, and sometimes I really don't even press play. Sometimes it might be, it might be a little over 2 days before I get back into the saddle, but I realized I do need to keep on working out, because when I did Body Beats last year, it was, and David knows my story on what I did with that, and actually with my first stint, when I did it, it was like, wow, I actually did this. And now it's like, and now I'm looking at, and really I was really just going to maintain pace just to work out for the rest of the year. But now it's like, okay, Ty, you got to get back in the saddle, because I do have a class reunion coming up 10 years in June. And I'm like, okay, I want to be able to go there and show them, okay, this is what's been going on with me, you know, show off my body a little bit, you know, show them that, you know, I'm not the skinny little kid that I once was back in high school. So I'm like, you know, and I have a lot of stuff that go on in my life, but I try to push through all of that, because I know that part of the reason why I do what I do is I feel like I'm a voice for everybody that says like, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, you're skinny, you're not impressing anybody. And I'm just one of those people like, well, y'all just gonna have to kill me from stop working out, or y'all gonna have to knock me dead to stop me from doing what I do, because it's just in my mind and in my heart just to go out and do these things. And, really, and part of the reason why it's hard for me to keep minds is because I deal with my family a lot, and I'm a spiritual person, and every so often a issue would come up with my family or my friends, and really I would literally just completely stop living. And sometimes I said, Tasha, if you don't get a hold of yourself and get back to working out, don't let them stop you from moving and doing what you need to do. If you got a goal, you got a dream, you got to get out there and do it, because if you let them stop you, then you can't blame them. It's on you. So with my New Year's resolutions, it's just all about just me, like David said in the chat, like having a plan when I'm doing it, and having a plan when I fall off, and following that plan till I get back on the saddle. So yeah, it's tough, but knowing what I know and know what I've been through, I know that I can do much better in my New Year's resolutions.
Yeah, thanks so much for sharing that, Tyshawn. And you actually brought up a really great point that I want to emphasize for everyone else too, is we understand that life gets in the way sometimes. And that's actually a great one. We should add it as number 5. Stress, life. It gets in the way of your resolutions. Whether it's issues at home, issues at work, you fall sick and it's hard to get back on the wagon. Things happen, but it's all about prioritizing your health and making sure that no matter what else is going on, you make time. Like David said, you find that 30 minutes to take care of yourself every day. So that's something that we'll talk about later on in another conversation. I don't want to keep everybody on too long. You're going to say something?
Yeah, I wanted to say that in response to what Ty said, sometimes our goals, we have to make them non-negotiables. Like we just do. And it's like that's where the no matter what attitude comes in that you can have. Be flexible on how you're going to get there, but make it a non-negotiable. Like, I am going to put in this effort. Like, put it on. I'm the type of person where if I don't write it down, it is not going to happen. And I just know these things about myself. I just do. So I have to schedule out my workouts. I have to schedule out when I'm going to read the Bible. I have to schedule out when I'm going to do personal development. Like, everything. Yep. I have to write it down, or I'm going to lose the time. The day will get away from me and it won't get done. I schedule out when I'm going to meal plan or when I'm going to meal prep. These are things that you just have to do. And it makes, when you have that plan in place, and I know you said, that's one of your takeaways, but when you have that plan in place, it makes it so much easier to get back on track, because it's like, honestly, like, things happen. I, for one, know the end of 2015 was a really rough year for me, but it's like when the world falls apart around you and you don't have a plan, you come out of that like, what do I do now? Where do I go from here? I don't even remember what life looked like before. But you can go back and be like, oh yeah, at 10 o'clock I did my workouts, and at 11 I went into the office, or, you go back into that routine. You can snap back that much faster when you have the plan in place. And what I meant by having a plan for when you fall off is, have your resources around you, have your support system. Klaenyza, Allison Tibbs, Nicole Howard. These are some of the people are the first ones to hear when I'm feeling down, or, I feel off track. I know I can go to them and they'll give me that push to be like, you know what? And when I talk to myself, and sometimes you do have to just talk to yourself and keep it all the way 100. I call myself Mackenzie. And Allison will be like, Mackenzie, you know what you should be doing right now. You know what's supposed to be happening, so just do it. And I'm like, all right, you're right. Got to get to it. But make it a non-negotiable, and just have a plan, and have a plan for when the plan starts not working out.
Yeah. And two, just on that, a lot of times when I talk to my clients about things like this, when ish starts to hit the fan, a lot of times your health is the first thing to go out the window, right? But no matter what's going on in life or at work, you don't miss a meeting with your boss, right? You don't miss a business meeting with a hot client. No. So treat your health the same. don't skip out on your daily workouts. Don't skip out on feeding your body right. Treat it like it's your job. I mean, it is. You have this one body. So that's one thing that I always tell my clients, you know, don't treat your body, your workouts, your health, your journey, don't treat it like it's the ugly stepchild, you know? It's a priority. Your body is your temple. Treat it that way.
I don't want to be an ugly stepchild. Well, guys, if there are no more questions, I just wanted to kind of point out this Forbes article. It just came out in January, and it was talking about what psychologists' secrets are to making your New Year's resolution stick. And they really hit on a lot of what we talked about tonight. And it was clearly defining your goals, tracking your progress. So like Klaenyza said, using those measurements and not just the scale, and using pictures, having patience. Because again, like Klaenyza said, progress is progress, no matter how slow. Like as long as you're going in the right direction. They also said to publicize your goals to your friends and family. You know, that goes back into getting that support and to getting others, you know, invested into your why and into your goals so that you have that support system and that you have somebody holding you accountable. Like I just said, they say, put it on a schedule, plan out that time, block it out and make it a priority. They also say, stop that all or nothing thinking. It's better to do something than nothing. So even if you can only get in a 20-minute walk, that's better than not doing anything all day. And their last tip was get up when you slip up. So if you fall off the wagon, just make sure you get back on the wagon.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that one because I feel like so many people fall down and they never get back up.
I mean,
and it's not just human. Yeah, true. And it's not just around this whole, you know, early in the year, January, setting resolutions time that we see that. But David, how many times do you see, like towards the end of the year when the holidays are coming, people make that one slip and they're like, well, you know, it's going to be the holidays. Might as well just let myself go. And you're like, I'll deal with it in January.
Exactly.
Then January comes and the cycle continues.
Have you seen that meme where it's like, we're going to diet? And they're like, when are we going to start? And they're like, on Monday. And then they're like, today's Monday. And they're like, all right, next Monday. Yeah. It's like always, next month. Oh, next, you know, not
tomorrow.
This month, tomorrow. Like April 1st. Well, April 1st is Fool's Day. Like, who you fooling?
Exactly.
So on Tuesday. It'll be all right.
Yeah, so it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter what day it is. Just start. Okay. You weren't happy with today? Change it. Do something different tomorrow. Tired of hearing that Monday stuff. That's great, though. But yeah, if there are no more questions, we'll start to kind of wind down here. Thank you guys so much for joining us in this conversation. Next week, we'll be talking about how we get to plateaus and how to get over them. So if you've ever I see you, Dava, gotten to a point in your fitness routine where you're just not seeing results, or maybe like me, you got bored, you just hit that plateau where you're just not progressing, then you want to tune in next week, next Tuesday, 9 o'clock, same place, and join that conversation with us.
Thank you guys so much for joining.
Good night.